Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Friday, March 9th, 2018. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES here. For the most part, the ES has been trading inside that larger range that we've been looking at, right? This larger impulse range, we're right in the middle, and again, not only are we in the middle of that larger range, but we're kind of in the middle of that middle. So we continue to chop around that 27.0375, and for the most part, that's going to lead to some significant expansion at some point here very shortly. So right now we have an inside week that's developing in the weekly time frame. So this action is inside last week's action, and when that occurs, the upcoming weeks here could see some expansion one way or another. So we could be looking at a push to an edge given all of this compression here. And if we do, if the move is to the upside, that could be a fade back to the center. If the move is to the downside, that could be a fade back to the top. Again, this range is so wide that it's very likely to continue to contain price for many months into the future. We're not likely going to see an expansion move and just continue out of this range very quickly. It could happen. Anything can happen in the market, but at the same time, odds favor that we continue to chop, maybe move to an edge and come back and continue to chop. So right now, again, still building out that inside week. Not a whole lot to really go on in terms of a swing basis. We have the NFP report coming out here shortly. Right now the market has a very tight range here today. Only 11 handles of range. That's 24% of ADR. It's been averaging 46 points per day. So once that announcement comes out, we could see some movement. Any failure to hold 27.37, 27.38, that zone could open up a rotation back down toward recent lows of the previous session, perhaps even back toward 27.03. So keep an eye on 27.38. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil. Here's a look at crude. This one also coiling up. Crude, ES, NQ, all of them still coiling. This one right now, though, just hit the 25% key level from yesterday, or did so yesterday. Today, bouncing off that area. As a matter of fact, if you look at a 60-minute chart, we got a little bit of a rejection down there, followed by some absorption off to the right, and then right now we're starting to work our way up. So this is an early indication of a bounce opportunity here. That midpoint from yesterday's session right there, that dot, that's going to be very important. Price needs to get above that level in order for this thing to squeeze higher. That's about 60.68, so just call it 60.70. Above that zone starts to open up a return back towards 61.60. So again, that's going to be a very important level to watch. That 60 round number right now is being defended. Any failure to hold that number could open up a move into 58 to retest that low. So keep an eye on 60. That's the pivot to watch. Above 60.70 starts to open up a move back towards 61.60. Let's take a look at the NQ. Here's the NQ back toward highs right now. So we're sitting right near the highs of the session. We continue to hold basically inside the upper half of this distribution. So we've compartmentalized the range and trading in the upper half. That usually leads to further behavior like that until we're ready to move out of the range. Perhaps if price pops above, if it can't hold, then we're going to come all the way back to this level right here. If this level fails to hold at some point, then we perhaps come all the way back down to the recent lows. So as of right now, what we're doing is looking to see how price is going to respond off this upper edge. At the moment, price is already rejecting the previous month's high just barely. And again, we have a very tight range up here. It's only 28.75 points of range today. That's 22% of the 10-day average of 128.50. So that's what we're averaging on a 10-day basis. Right now we have 28.75 only, and that's 22% of current 10-day average. So very modest range ahead of the NFP report. Again, any rejection up here could start this thing right back down toward the lower edge. If we do push up, I would be expecting an attempt to find acceptance above that level. Otherwise, any failure to hold above that zone rotates it back down. So that's a couple of ideas that I'll be looking for here over the next couple of weeks. Let's take a look at gold futures. Here's a look at gold. This one's been fantastic, but it's starting to fail here off that middle portion of the range. We knew that the quick test was going to be at 1338, and then we knew that there could be some chop followed by perhaps a continuation. So there has certainly been a big pullback here after hitting that target, and now we're testing the FOMC key level at 1317. That's the FOMC key level from September 20th. And right here, that's kind of the last line of defense before this thing comes back down and tries for new lows. As a matter of fact, if you look at this thing over the last couple of months here, you have a very nice rounded top that's starting to develop. And so right here, little rounded top. And that is very significant here after trading in this upper distribution of this larger key range. You know, this distribution might be coming to a close now, and if price fails to hold 1300, we could be looking at a quick move back to 1240. So that's going to be something to watch out here. In gold, again, I don't know if we're ready to see that type of move right away, but I'll be definitely looking at 1300 for signs of a failure at some point, as it could lead to a 60 handle drop into the recent low of 1240. So that's going to be something to look out for here in the weeks ahead. Also, if you take a look here at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has dropped nicely here as we expected. We were looking for price to basically drop off the 1200 zone up here and return back toward 9K and below this low. And we certainly got that here. We've got a nice continuation. Recent highs as high as 11,710 this week, lows as low as 85.99. And now we're bouncing back up and currently trading last price 90.10. And this is that 9,000 key level right there. Been a very clear area of support and resistance, so a very clear pivot, and that's where we are right now. So if there's any rejection here today, if price can close above 9K, preferably above, you know, 9,300, that would leave a nice tail. That could provide an opportunity to bounce this thing back toward value in the upcoming week. That would be 11,045 right now, and a shot to come all the way back toward recent highs. Again, this is the distribution that we're in right now. Got to continue to trade that distribution until expansion occurs. Once expansion occurs, we're going to see a nice move one way or another out of this range, but first things first, got to fade it back toward value. One quick announcement: next week I will be out of the office enjoying spring break with the family, so I will not be posting pre-market reports next week, but I will try to get something in later in the week. Also, if you were part of the Masters training last night, we finished up our 4th course, trading with FOMC key levels. That was a fantastic course, straightforward and powerful information. Today we're going to have retraining your beliefs as a trader. That's going to be a great way to finish this 5-day training here. If you want to check out where the recent course is, it's under analysis. So you go to core training and analysis. It'll pop up your analysis page here with core training. Here's all the various courses in this section. This is Monday's course, market structure, principles, and concepts. This one is yesterday's course, Thursday's, trading with FOMC key levels. So you can click that right there. It'll pop up the course page, give you your PDF and your video down below. So that is where you'll find the recent course. The next course will be under the theory section. So if you come up here to core training and theory, tonight's course will be posted to the theory section under the mindset tag. So that's where the current course training will be. And again, if you're not part of Masters, still time to get in, enjoy the live training, one more session, and again, you have access to all of our content, many hours of content for both proprietary and core training, in addition to all of our indicators for all the various platforms that we support, lifetime access. You never have to pay for this training again. So if you were a member, or you are a current member, then you didn't pay for any of this, right? New members pay to come in, and then after that, everything else is just part of the membership. You also get Swing Trade Pro, 6 hours of great swing trading training in that course, and then you also get access to our trading room as well. So a lot of great benefits to being a member of PivotBoss Masters. Again, we have one more course tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing you all there. Take care. Talk to you soon.